I became like Stockholm Syndrome sexy cousin.
The number you have dialed has been changed.
Shawty had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Got the whole club looking at her. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't watch the video about me talking about quarantine reading and whatever stuff, you might want to watch that just for like some content. So, I have recently been inspired by booktubers and I decided that I wanted to do a video tier ranking books that I read in quarantine. So, that is to say that if you watched the other video, you would know that I read 80 plus books in quarantine. So obviously I'm not going to be tier ranking all of those. Because of that, I am not doing nonfiction. I'm not doing any classics that I read. And I'm also doing only like books that are more popular on Goodreads, like not any of the more like obscure books. Also, I'm going to be grouping the series together just to make it all easier for me to categorize in my mind. Disclaimer, take everything I say with a grain of salt. If I trash your favorite series, I'm sorry. My experience with the book will definitely be different from anyone else's experience because no one has my background or my environment or like the specific factors that influence my opinion. So yeah, let's get started because I'm pretty excited. First we get God Tier, and God Tier is like, ooh, hit me in my feels. I love this book. I will read it over and over again to like the end of time. I would teach Jared how to read just so he could read this book. That's how much I love it. Okay. Then we have Demigod Tier, which is like nearly perfect, like not quite God Tier, but like still pretty, really good. So then we have Guilty Pleasure Reads, which I mean, I feel like it speaks for itself. So then we have Solid, which is like, it was a pretty good book. Like, I liked it, you know. Would I buy it again? No. Would I want to read it again? Maybe not. But would I recommend it to someone who I think would like it more? Absolutely. So then we have Meh, which is just, like, you know, okay, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, it was just eh. Then we have Kinda Crappy, which I feel like it speaks for itself. Maybe it could be like the book wasn't my thing personally, or that maybe it didn't like resonate with me as much, maybe because of my age or whatever. So then we have Refund. So I mean, there's a couple of books that I didn't even buy, but I want to refund my time that I spent reading them. The books that are going in this tier, to me, are just like hot garbage. Like hot, steaming garbage, like so smelly that you can see the smell. That's what this means. Alright, so let's get right into it because we don't have all day. I don't have all day, you don't have all day, and I'm hungry and I want to eat. So, first we have the Shadow and Bone series, which I'm just gonna drop this into like, can I put it in solid or meh? I'll put it in solid because I will say that I feel like the time that I read it this year in quarantine. I feel like if I'd read it when it like first came out, I would have liked it a lot more. But as it is, it's just, you know what? It's more meh. It's just so like, it's just so deeply okay. Like as much as I love like Six of Crows is how much I think the Shadow and Bone trilogy is just okay. Then we have the Shadow Me series. Listen, I think a lot of like these books and like a lot of these series, I feel like one of the main reasons why I feel differently about them than a lot of people are because of the time that I read them, which is during quarantine and not when they first came out and when they were all the rage. So I feel like that's definitely a thing that is going to influence my opinion. So, that being said, I think this was kind of just meh. It was just very meh. The statistical probability of love at first sight. And that was kind of crappy, honestly. I didn't really like it. I really liked the idea, but I feel like the execution wasn't what it could have been. It wasn't my thing, honestly. Whew. Then we have Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. And I'm gonna put this in like guilty pleasure because I really liked this book. I really liked it. I did really like it. It's not quite demigod tier, but it's also better than solid. I appreciated the story more after I read it. So that's why it's not demigod or god. Alright, so the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy. So this is the first book. I felt differently about the first, second, and third book. I really liked this book. I did really like it. And I'm gonna put it in guilty pleasure because I would reread it just as a guilty pleasure because that's what it feels like. But the second book was like just solid, you know, like it was solid, you know, like it was a pretty good book. I thought it did what it needed to do for a sequel. The third book though, that was like, ooh, that was beautiful. Just the way that she crafted the world. I feel like she really did that, honestly. She did that. I thought it was the best book that could have wrapped all the series up in like a neat little bow. Fangirl. Ooh, I loved Fangirl. Fangirl was like, I loved Fangirl. It was just so cute and oh, give me the feels. Court of Thorn and Roses. It's just solid, you know? I liked it. I like it less now that I've read the other two books, but I still liked it. When I read it, I was into it. I really liked the world. I loved the world. I loved all the political systems that were put in place there, and I thought it was fascinating. So the first book is really just like the world building, and then the second book is like the relationship, and the third book is like here's what we have for you. Like here's what we're doing. So that being said, A Court of Mist and Fury is definitely a guilty pleasure book for me, solely because of the relationship between Feyre and Rhysand. Or Rhysand, I don't even know how do you say a fool's name? I don't even know. Rhysand, you know what, I don't care. Their relationship, first of all, Homeboy is like 200 years old, dating like a teenager. But, you know, it's fine, because he appears as a teenager, like he physically looks 19, so, you know, it doesn't matter how old and mature he is, you know, it's fine, it's fine. And all that being said, I still really liked the book when I read it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. I would reread it because of the relationship. I love Rhysand. I'm sorry. Am I ashamed to admit that I love Rhysand? Maybe a little bit, but you know what? He's like my guilty pleasure boy, so it's fine. The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, and yeah. Listen, I have realized I am not a magical realism person. I thought I would be. I thought I would dig it till my heart's content, but I hate magical realism. And I feel bad about that because I think it's cool. I like the idea of it, but the execution of like it in books just doesn't work for me. So I would like to refund my time because I feel like I wasted my time reading this book. We have Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, and we're just gonna we're gonna plop this right there. Or should it be? You know what? No, we're gonna leave it there because it is a guilty pleasure read for me. I did really like it. I feel like it was really good, but I feel like if I read it when it first came out, I would have liked it a lot more. So then you have The Girl on the Train, which I read like at the beginning of quarantine, and it was just, I liked it more when I read it than now I'm thinking about it. It's very deeply okay. It's like, it's meh. Then we have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I feel like I'm gonna be like attacked for this. I didn't like it, and I don't know what it was that made me not like it, but I heard people raving about it and about how good it was, and I'm not saying that those people are wrong. I'm saying that I didn't feel it. I wasn't feeling it. I felt like there was like a blockage. I was like, what is it that I'm not getting? I was like, there's something that like not clicking in my head, because I was seeing all these people that loved this book, and I didn't love the book, so I thought there's something wrong with me. But now I'm realizing that there's nothing wrong with me. I just didn't like the book. And that's okay. You cannot like a book that a lot of people like. It's just an unpopular opinion. I didn't like The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Sue me. So then we have The Outsiders. And The Outsiders, I love The Outsiders. I will love The Outsiders to the day I die. Why do I love The Outsiders? I don't really know. I just love the story and Johnny. Six of Crows. So this is the Six of Crows. This is representing Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and we're just gonna put it right right up there because absolutely, I love Six of Crows. I love Six of Crows. I love Crooked Kingdom. Kaz can break my heart anytime he wants. So can Inej. So can Nina. Maybe not Matthias because I didn't really dig him as much. Wylan is like my little baby. And Jesper, oh my god. Wylan is like the dog that I'll play with. Jesper is like the snarky, it's like my favorite cousin that like I see at the cookout. And Matthias is like the uncle that will always give me money. A Court of Wings and Fury. Listen, I liked the book. I liked it. Listen, I liked the whole like ACOTAR series. I liked A Court of Wings and Ruin. I thought it was pretty good. An absolutely remarkable thing. Yes. I loved that book. I thought it was very good. I thought it was well written. I think it was exactly what I needed at the time when I read it. I'm in the middle of a beautifully foolish endeavor, and Hank Green is such a good writer. I wish he'd been writing all this time because he is so good. He has such a way with words, and I love like the charismatic charm that he kind of brings to it and to his characters, and I love the messages, and there's like I just like highlighted so many like passages that I like loved, like specific things that he said through the book, and like the messages about insta fame and like social media and like how our world operates. I really thought it was cool how he kind of brought that into the table. Then we have Dear Martin. Yeah, I did not like this book. I liked the idea. I loved the idea, the premise. That's why I bought the book. The story was underwhelming. I feel like it was so fast paced because it was like it's under 200 pages. Since it's under 200 pages, it moved the story too fast. And as a result, it didn't hit all the levels that it tried to hit. It tried to do too much in too little amount of time. Yeah, I want a refund, honestly. It's only like $9. I want my $9 back. And I didn't even buy it. My mom bought it. So then we have Salt to the Sea. And I had to read this for school. Nevertheless, I thought it was pretty solid. I liked it. I mean, as much as you can like a book that you're being forced to read. Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So this is the series, and I'm probably pretty solid. I just read it. Like, I just read it for the first time. I read the first book back in, like, 5th grade, but I just reread, like, the first book and the rest of the series. And I feel like it's another one of those books that if I read when it first came out, I would have liked it a lot more because it definitely served as a catalyst for these other dystopian books. But I feel like I definitely missed out on that. You know what? It's arguably one of the best books of our generation because of how much it's influenced other books. A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I thought it was just solid, you know? I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I feel like that's all I can really say about it. So then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And, I don't know where to put it. Is it God or demigod? Oh my god, I have no idea. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna put it in God's tier. Because I love the book. I loved reading it. I loved it after I read it. I loved it. I love it now, and I desperately want to buy it for no other reason than just so I can have it. So then we have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and she's the same woman who wrote Fangirl. So this is the first book, and I think it's going to be a trilogy. I mean, it's like Harry Potter influence, but I didn't read Harry Potter, so I didn't, and I probably won't read Harry Potter. I mean, I'm sure eventually I'll read Harry Potter. Like, come on, it's Harry Potter. But I haven't read it yet, which, I mean, don't scream at me, please. I'm sorry, I haven't read Harry Potter. I know, it's disgusting. I'm a horrible person. So, Carry On. I liked Carry On. I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. They both die at the end. And this book broke me. Like, oh my god. I just sat there crying. I was trying not to get tears on the book because the book is not mine. I borrowed it from a friend. So I was like, let me not cry on her book because that's not what she would want. She doesn't want my salty tears in her book. But, is it God or demigod? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna put it here. You know, I'm gonna put it in God. Oh my god. Call Me By Your Name is one of my favorite books ever. I love the book. I love the movie. They both tore my heart out, crushed it in front of me, and then shoved the remains back in my chest. I love Call Me By Your Name. I love the book. I read it twice in quarantine. Twice. I read this book twice in the span of 5 months. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I love the first book. I think I say love a lot. This was a very good book. It did exactly what I needed it to do, and I'm very excited for the third book, and I feel like I really need it, like, right now. Like a Love Story. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I really like this. I really liked it. I thought it warmed my heart. It also tore out my heart, too. This also. A lot of books tear out my heart. I get super emotionally invested in characters, especially LGBTQ characters, because I love representation. I get so invested in characters and their relationships that when, like, there's, like, even, like, a little tremor, I get, like, upset. Daisy Jones and the Six. That just goes right there. And that stays there for, like, all of eternity. I love that book. I will preach it to the day I die. Taylor Jenkins Reid is an amazing author. But I listened to the audiobook, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I really loved the book. Because I listened to the audiobook, and I feel like if you read the book or listen to the audiobook, that definitely influences your opinion of the book as a whole. So, I listened to the audiobook, and I loved it. I thought it was so good. Yes, I think everyone needs to read it. So now I'm getting tired. This Savage Song. I have a thing for, like, morally ambiguous books. So this Savage Song, I really liked it. When I read it, I loved it. Both of the books, the Savage Song and Our Darky Duet, I thought they were both, like, amazingly written. And Veronica Schwab, V.E. Schwab, such an amazing writer. I want to read, like, everything she's written now. Same with Laini Taylor. I love the way she writes. She just has, like, this beautiful lyrical prose. And she wrote the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. She also wrote The Stranger Dreamer duology, which I have in my possession, and I need to read because I love the way she writes. No More People by Sally Rooney. I didn't like it. I feel like one of the main reasons I didn't like it is because I'm a teenager, and it was definitely more geared towards adults. So yeah, Her Royal Highness, kind of crappy. It's it's like a lesbian romance, but not really, because I think the main girl was bisexual, but the other girl was, like, a lesbian. But I thought it was good-ish. Honestly, no, it wasn't. I liked the premise, but I feel like the execution wasn't there. Also, because I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going to be reading, like, a cheesy YA LGBT romance, but I just didn't expect it to be that cheesy and that, like, fluffy, and, like, it didn't do it. Verity? Oh, that was a good book. No, that was like guilty pleasure for me at the time. I feel like that twist at the end, I still think about it. I still get in my head, like. So we have Wayward Son, which is the second book in the Carry On trilogy. So I'm gonna put this in meh, because I thought it was okay. Same with Find Me. I feel like, which is the second book in the Call Me By Your Name thing. The thing with both of these books is, this could just be me not liking sequels, which I don't hate sequels, but I just don't generally like the first book the most, and usually I like the third book too, like after the first book, and like the second book kind of follows, like, trails after them. Wayward Son, I liked the relationship building, but it didn't do it for me. And, like, I feel like that thing at the end that she did, she just put it in there just so she could have a third book, and I don't really like how she didn't really build up anything, really. Find Me, I have a lot of opinions on this. I will say, I'm not going to share all of them, but the main reason why I didn't like Find Me as much is because Elio and Oliver were not present until, like, the last third of the book, like, even less than that, like, the last fourth of the book, and it was, like, barely, like, 25 pages dedicated to, like, them two, and that upset me a little bit. I listened to the audiobook for this because I didn't feel like buying it. Felix Ever After is, that was just so sweet. I think everyone needs to read that book. It's just, warmed my heart, man. I loved it. Red, White, and Royal Blue. Ooh! Oh! Oh! I love every single thing about it. It made me laugh, like, out loud. And the same page that it made me bawl like a baby. And I love when a book can make you do that. You know, like, I feel like if it really... I got so emotionally invested. Like, and emotionally attached to all the every single one of the characters. The color purple. Oh, wait, I said no classics. But, you know, I put it on here anyway. So, I'm going to put this here. Because I really like the book. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I've been trying to get into, like, the Shadowhunter series. So I'm going to put that in Guilty Pleasure. I am intrigued, definitely, by the world. Chase is, like, a badass. I think he's cool. Clary, she's pretty chill. I like all the characters so far. Simon's kind of annoying, but, like, I mean, like, we need, like, one annoying person. So that twist at the end, I was like, the thing is, I watched this out of the Shadowhunter series. I think I watched. The thing is, I watched the Shadowhunter series. Like, I watched, like, the first season before I, like, even knew I liked the books, which is kind of weird. And that was one of the first, like, TV shows that, like, I watched after I stopped watching Disney Channel. Because I was a shelter child, just un poquito. So that twist, like, near the end, I knew it. Like, after I read it, I jumped up, ran into my mom's room. I was like, I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she would do this. And I was like, I cannot believe it. And the thing is, I knew that it was coming. Because I'd seen the series. But somehow I blocked it off in my mind. And I came rushing back. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, that she did that. And I was a little pissed off. But now I've kind of gotten over it. And, like, I want to see where she takes it. What she does with my anger. I want to see what she does with my anger. Captive Prince trilogy. We're just gonna... This whole series is hot, stinking, rotten garbage. I hated it. As much as I love Call Me By Your Name and Red, White, and Royal Blue, I hate The Captive Prince. I didn't read the other two books because I hated the first book so much. And there's so many reasons why I hate this book so much. And I don't think I've ever hated a book this much. And I'm sorry if you love this book, if you stan this book, if you worship this book. My personal feelings, I hated it. I hated it with my every single heart and soul. Now, listen, I think the writing was good, but the story was solid. It was the content. And it's not the writing's fault, because their writing was very good. I enjoyed their writing, but the content of the book was not it. The messages that we were getting through the book, and it wasn't something that I enjoyed reading. And I've read books, like, about, like, sexual assault and things like that, and, like, more like risque topics, but that, I don't know if it was, like, saying that was too far. It wasn't that it was too far, it was too much. It was just too much. Like, it got to a point where it's like, okay, we get it. Can we move on with the plot? Like, there was no plot until, like, the last, like, 50 pages of the book. And I didn't like how it became, like, Stockholm Syndrome sexy cousin. No, I don't like that at all. Ever. Never. I've never liked any book like... It wasn't my thing. The Night Circus, I thought it was solid. I'd seen a lot of people who really liked the book. It wasn't my thing, per se, because as I said before, I don't really like magical realism. For some reason, the rest of the video didn't record, so y'all are stuck with editing Yasmin. I put Ready Player One in the solid tier because, you know, I'm not a big science fiction person, but I like this one. So here's all my rankings or whatever, and I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you'll continue to watch my videos. Yeah, because that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, I guess, and, you know, stay cool. So, deuces. Bye, guys.
Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids.